Tony, now, from an economic standpoint, what do you see as some of the disadvantages as an energy policy for the U.S.? In other words, and we know there's at least raising some environmental issues, but what about that? I mean, do you see these rising to the level of inhibiting our growth in natural gas?
The using the natural gas,
Yeah.
you know, I think we can work around those issues. I mean, I think that Doug's correct that the biggest challenge is to mainstream it. You know, if everybody.
So we got to have some
you got to be able to go,
service stations. Yeah.
You got to be able to go into rural towns. You and I go into areas of southwest Iowa and central Iowa into rural communities, and you can't get there and say, I'm out of fuel. I have to find some specialized facility that's way out of the way, drive another 50 miles just to fuel up.
And that's where ethanol is coming at us with the same thing. In other words, ethanol is saying we need more facilities to provide the ethanol into the cars as well. So I think it's on the consumer end.
I think there's a huge opportunity. You know, I know T. Boone Pickens has been, you know, beating this drum about converting our fleets, our truck fleets.
Yeah, right. I
I think that's huge because in those cases you're having, you know, you look at people like UPS or Federal Express that have, you know, in-town fleets that are delivering and stuff, so they're not going to, you know, they return to the same locale every evening, can be serviced, et cetera. That works for them.
Taxi cabs.
Absolutely.
I rode in a taxi cab the other day at the airport. They're being converted right now. And I'm sure you're seeing that.
If you'd like, I can comment a little bit on that. I was part of a federal grant that we put together with Happy Cab here in Omaha.
Yeah, that's the one.
And they're going to convert 50 of their cabs. And we then joined with them in the construction of the gas station at which those cabs will be filled. So we built the economic model for that fueling station around that cab company. So the economic, this isn't just, as I explained earlier, this isn't a pie in the sky thing. We actually put the pencil down and said, how do you do this with a business model?
Right.
And we found that if we could get 50 cabs converted, that we could pay the $1.2 million to build the station. We could pay for the conversions of those cabs. Now, when I say we, us and Happy Cab could join forces to do this. And that in a 3.5-year period, we can get a payback on that.
3.5-year period.
Because of the reduced cost of the fuel going into those cabs, the numbers of miles on those cabs that they're putting on a year, that we can cost justify that in 3 years and have green money coming back to us.
Now let me pose a question to you that I'm sure a lot of our viewers out there are saying, well, how much of this costs are going to hit the Omaha utility payers? I mean,
If I'm an Omaha utility player, I would be doing cartwheels.
Okay.
And here's why. We have fixed costs. To run a utility, you have huge fixed costs. And some of our water customers are experiencing that now because we have to do a rate increase due to some of those fixed costs. But we, as a company, have promoted conservation over the years. And I'm going to give you a staggering fact. Omaha consumers of natural gas in their homes, the home consumer, has reduced their consumption by 47% over the last 37 years.
and volume or price?
Volume.
Okay.
Volume. So the volume of gas going across a fixed system has gone down. We've added 30,000 customers, and we are not selling one more molecule of gas than we did 10 years ago.
Now, what's the
So
cost?
that tells.
What's causing that?
What's causing that? Better home construction,
Okay.
wonderful home construction and design. Better, every furnace going in is now 92 to 95% efficient instead of 85% efficient. People have learned to conserve. They've got thermostats that adjust during the day and aren't operating, and so everybody has done their part. But what that does to a fixed company like ours is your overheads then start to show up because you're not moving enough gas across the system.
So this is win-win for everybody.
This is an absolute win-win because now, with the addition of natural gas as a fuel, we're moving more gas across our system and spreading our fixed overhead costs out, which you guys understand.
We like win-win.